Georgia. When most people hear the name, they think, wait, are we talking about the U.S. state with peaches and Atlanta? Or are we talking about the country wedged between Europe and Asia? Well, here's the twist. We're talking about the country, and no, it's not for the reason you think. Because this Georgia, the one locals call Sakartvelo, invented wine 8,000 years ago, sits in the deepest cave on Earth, and has mountains higher than the Alps. It's home to the oldest human skull ever found outside Africa. It has a language with its own ancient alphabet and polyphonic singing that UNESCO protects as cultural heritage. This isn't just another former Soviet republic. It's where Europe meets Asia, where Christianity took root in 337 AD, and where geography created one of the most culturally rich nations on the planet. Today we're counting down 20 facts about Georgia. And by fact number 1, you'll understand why this tiny country has preserved 8,000 years of continuous civilization while empires around it rose and fell. The final facts will prove it. And before we dive in, be sure to subscribe and leave a like so you don't miss more wild geography from across the world. Number 20. Georgians don't call their country Georgia. The locals don't call it Georgia. They call it Sakartvelo, meaning land of Kartvelians. No one knows exactly where Georgia came from. Some trace it to St. George. Others link it to the Persian word Gerj, meaning land of wolves. The country's been called Georgia by outsiders for centuries, but locals will correct you immediately. Number 19. It invented wine 8,000 years ago. Georgia is the birthplace of wine. In 2017, archaeologists found an 8,000-year-old winemaking site from 6000 BC, the oldest known in history. Traditional wine ferments in underground clay vessels called kuvevri, a UNESCO-recognized method. Georgia grows over 500 grape varieties, almost a quarter of all varieties worldwide. Number 18. The deepest cave on Earth is here. Veryovkina Cave in the Gagra Mountains plunges 2,212 meters, or 7,257 feet, the world's deepest known cave. Its lowest point was reached only in 2018. Standing there puts you deeper underground than 2 Burj Khalifas stacked. Georgia hosts 4 of the planet's deepest caves, all carved from ancient limestone by water. Number 17. The mountains are higher than the Alps. Most people assume the Alps are Europe's highest mountains. They're wrong. The Caucasus Mountains along Georgia's northern border are actually higher. Georgia's Mount Shakara stands 5,193 meters, nearly 400 meters higher than Mont Blanc, the Alps' highest point. Georgia has 14 peaks over 4,000 meters, creating some of the most dramatic mountain scenery on the continent. Number 16. The highest inhabited villages in Europe. The ancient villages of Ushguli and Svaneti sit at 2,100 meters above sea level, making them the highest continuously inhabited settlements in Europe. These medieval villages have been occupied for over 1,000 years, surrounded by defensive stone towers. If you visited Ushgali, you'd be living higher than most ski resorts, in villages where people have survived brutal winters for centuries. Number 15. Stalin was born here. Joseph Stalin was born in the Georgian city of Gori in 1878. The Joseph Stalin Museum in Gori presents a largely positive portrayal of the dictator and remains one of Georgia's most visited tourist sites, creating an uncomfortable tension between historical documentation and glorification. Number 14. It was the second country to adopt Christianity. Georgia became a Christian nation in 337 AD, making it the second country in the world to adopt Christianity as its state religion. Only Armenia in 301 AD was earlier. A woman evangelist named Saint Nino converted the Georgian king over 1,600 years ago. Today, approximately 80% of Georgians belong to the Georgian Orthodox Church. Number 13. The oldest humans outside Africa were found here. Archaeologists discovered 1.8 million-year-old human skulls in the town of Dmanisi, the oldest ever found anywhere outside of Africa. These discoveries prove that Georgia was home to the first known humans in Europe, fundamentally changing our understanding of human migration out of Africa. Number 12. Polyphonic singing is a UNESCO treasure. Georgian polyphonic singing is a unique vocal tradition passed down orally for possibly 2,500 years. The music developed independently of Western European harmony and uses a tuning system based on fifths rather than octaves. Each ethnic region has its own style of harmony. UNESCO recognizes Georgian polyphonic singing on its own intangible cultural heritage list. Number 11. The language has its own ancient alphabet. The Georgian alphabet is one of only 14 currently used alphabets in the world. It has 33 letters and no capital letters or gender nouns. UNESCO has recognized the living culture of 3 writing systems of the Georgian alphabet as intangible cultural heritage. The language has remained remarkably unchanged for over 1,000 years. All right, gang, we're about halfway through. And Georgia has already shattered every assumption about what a small Caucasus nation should be. But the truly mind-bending facts are still ahead. So remember to subscribe and like to keep learning how geography creates the world's most fascinating stories. Number 10. You can stay for a year without a visa. Georgia has one of the most liberal visa policies on Earth. Citizens of approximately 98 countries can enter Georgia and stay for an entire year without a visa. U.S., Canadian, and most European passport holders can simply arrive and remain for 365 days. This makes Georgia one of the easiest countries in the world to visit or relocate to. Number 9. One of the most biodiverse places on Earth. Despite being roughly the size of West Virginia, Georgia contains nearly every type of climate: subtropical along the Black Sea coast, semi-desert in the east, alpine in the mountains, and temperate forest covering 40% of the country. This creates extraordinary biodiversity. Georgia is home to lynx, brown bears, leopards, and over 350 bird species. Number 8. Jewish people have lived here for 2,600 years. Georgia is one of the few countries in the world with absolutely no history of persecution of Jewish people. Jews have lived peacefully in Georgia since approximately 586 BC, over 2,600 years. In 1998, Georgia celebrated the 2,600th anniversary of Georgian-Jewish friendship. The two communities have coexisted harmoniously longer than most modern nations have existed. Number 7. It has a flat tax and business-friendly policies. According to the World Bank, Georgia ranks 7th in the world for ease of doing business. It's possible to register a business in a single afternoon. The country employs a flat corporate tax rate and offers a generous 1% tax rate for many self-employed individuals. These reforms have transformed Georgia into one of the most entrepreneur-friendly nations globally. Number 6. The country is smaller than South Carolina. Georgia spans just 69,700 kilometers, smaller than South Carolina, and about the size of Ireland. Yet, in this tiny space, it holds the deepest caves, tallest mountains, oldest wine traditions, and extremely diverse climates. The country shows that geographic importance isn't measured by size. Number 5. About 20% of the territory is disputed. 2 regions, Abkhazia and South Ossetia, declared independence from Georgia in 2008 following conflicts. This means roughly 20% of Georgia's territory remains in a state of geopolitical complexity, though most of the international community considers these regions to be part of Georgia. Number 4. Tbilisi means warm place. Tbilisi, Georgia's capital, is named after Tbilisi, meaning warm. Founded on natural hot springs, the city has offered sulfur baths for over 1,500 years. The springs made it ideal for settlement, and the historic bathhouses in the old town still draw visitors today. Number 3. It produces unique orange wine. While Georgia invented wine 8,000 years ago, it's becoming famous today for orange wine, or amber wine. These are white wines made using the traditional Qvevri method, where grape skins remain in contact with the juice during fermentation, creating an orange color. The technique produces complex tannic wines unlike anything made in Western Europe. Number 2. The country views itself as European, not Asian. Despite being geographically located in southwestern Asia, Georgia views itself culturally and politically as part of Europe. The Caucasus Mountains serve as the traditional geographic boundary between Europe and Asia, and Georgia sits directly on its divide, creating an identity that's genuinely transcontinental. And number 1, hospitality is a religious principle. In Georgia, guests are seen as a gift from God. Hospitality, or stumari, is deeply rooted and even holds religious significance. Visitors may receive fruit from taxi drivers, wine from hotel staff, or invitations into strangers' homes. This centuries-old tradition reflects the belief that hosting travelers brings blessings. What these 20 facts reveal is that Georgia isn't just another post-Soviet country. It's a geographic and cultural treasure that has quietly preserved 8,000 years of continuous civilization. So the next time someone mentions Georgia, you'll know they might not be talking about peaches and Atlanta. They could be talking about one of the most historically significant and geographically dramatic countries on the planet. After learning these 20 facts about Georgia, tell us which one shocked you the most. Leave it in the comments. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe and give it a like so we can keep exploring how geography shapes the world. See you in the next one.